Right, story time. The year is 1998. Gary Neville's Manchester United have just recorded a 2-0 win over Derby County at Old Trafford and have the Premier League title in their hands. 9 games to go and United have an 11-point lead over Arsenal. Gary Neville's Manchester United then go 7 games in all competitions without a win, losing to both Chelsea and Arsenal in that time, and somehow manage to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory as Arsenal lift the Premier League title. That, my friend, is bottling it. And listen, man, I get it. Neville's probably aware that all we've heard for the last couple of years is him slagging off the ownership that paid his wages for 7 seasons or so, and he probably realises that he needs to do a bit more to showcase his punditry ability. Maybe he needs to go for someone else, but bottle job is just not a word that I would use. Because on Sunday at Wembley, we were the younger team in the first minute. We were still the younger team in the 120th minute. We were the 11th placed Premier League side taking on the league leaders. A side who for a couple of years have been in turmoil versus a side riding the sentimental wave of Jurgen Klopp's fairy tale goodbye. And let's remember here, despite the injuries to, I get it, key first team players for Liverpool, the bookmakers still had Liverpool as the betting favourites going in to this match. So to have a goal disallowed, I get we both did, to hit the woodwork, to make it to extra time against a team of seasoned winners isn't something I'm happy with. It's not something I'm proud of. It's not something I'm going to glaze over. But come on, mate. It ain't fucking bottling it, is it? Now I've got that off my chest, let's get on with it. Right, what's happening, people? And welcome back to the Joey Knight podcast. If you are new around here, at the end of the video, if you like the content and you want to see more from myself, please hit that subscribe button. Tomorrow night, 7:30, Chelsea welcome Leeds to Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup, and this is an absolute must-win now. So listen, we're going to speak about the game. We're going to touch on the rumours that Mauricio Pochettino has now just a couple of games to save his job. We'll speak a bit about the Nkunku injury, but first of all, I want to start off by giving you lot my starting 11 that I want to see face Leeds tomorrow night. Now, let me just prerequisite this. Is that a word? Have I used it in the right context? I don't know, but I'm going to go with it. Let me just say before, here's what I should have said really, that there's not going to be much variation at all with the starting lineup because we are hampered once again by injuries. Every time our injury crisis looks like it's getting a little bit better, it gets a whole lot worse. And for that reason, I really can't change too much. I would like to change a fair bit in here, but I can't do all that much. So let's just get on with it. You know who's in goal. It's the main man. It is a man that can walk away with his head held very high, I should say, after that League Cup final defeat, and that is Petrovic. I don't want to see Robert Sanchez anywhere near this team now. Petrovic is the number one. We don't need anyone else. We can build a team with this young goalkeeper between the sticks, and I'm very, very happy to have him. Right back, I am going with Alfie Gilchrist. He very much impressed me in the performances that I saw from him when he did come into the team. Haven't seen as much of him recently. If he's fit and available, I'd start him at right back. Wait for it, because you're probably, wondering where Malo Gusto is. Trevor Chalobah at centre-back. He's been coming off the bench. I think he's probably fit enough to start a game now. And I think that, not that, I'm massively unhappy with Disasi, because I think he had put in some really, really solid performances before that League Cup final. He wasn't awful in the League Cup final. A couple of misplaced touches that, annoyed me a little bit. But Trevor Chalobah is a boyhood Chelsea fan. He's an academy graduate, and he is a man that will understand the occasion of this match. Because let's have it right, by the way, this is a derby. I don't care how far they live away, man. I rarely dislike teams, and I really don't like Leeds. So Trevor Chalobah, he understands the occasion. He knows how important this match is. I'd bring him back into the fold now, and I would pair him with Levi Colwill, showing his worth at left centre back, I should say. He's not a left back. We don't want to see him there. Another man that I don't want to see at left back in this match. Pains me to say it, man. Is he a club legend? He's won a Champions League for us, but I don't want to see Ben Chilwell in this match. I'm going to go Malo Gusto at left back. And you'll get in the comments straight away, he's playing him out of position. You're just as bad as Pochettino. Malo Gusto can play left back, man. I've been in the stands a couple of times. I've seen mustard performances by Malo Gusto at left back. Very good there. And when we look at Reece James coming back, if Reece James is going to take that right back slot, We're looking at left back, man. Who's better at left back, Malo Gusto or Ben Chilwell? I'd say Malo Gusto. Who's better at left back, Malo Gusto, Cucurella? Let's see how Cucurella comes back. But again, I'll back Malo Gusto there. So yeah, it might not be preferred position, but I don't know, man. I don't want to see the exact same starting lineup that started that cup final in here. But then, as we get up the pitch, I completely nullify that point because we're absolutely hampered. Who could we possibly have in here? I am going to go Caicedo, Enzo, Gallagher in that midfield three. My God, am I missing Carney Chukwuemeka? I'd love to see him in this game. He came back. Now he's injured again. Same thing with Nkunku. Same thing of fucking everyone that comes into this team. Oh, I'm losing my patience doing with him. But listen, I think that barring the FA Cup final, or the Carling Cup final, I should say, League Cup, Carabao Cup, barring that cup final, whatever it is, Caicedo and Enzo have been putting in a pretty good partnership over recent weeks, and I'd like to see it flourish. I'm not ready to throw the baby out the bathwater just because of one disappointing performance, disappointing result. It wasn't even a bad performance. It wasn't good. It wasn't that bad. It's just bang average, really. Yeah, so I'm going to start them through there. And then when we go up top, it's going to be Palmer, Jackson, Sterling. Do I want Sterling there? Don't know, man. He underwhelmed me in the cup final. To be honest, I know he scored the goal against Man City, but he underwhelmed me there as well. But then when I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, well, what are the other options? You could say Madueke, but then where does Palmer go? Palmer and Madueke, what was the thinking, really? I get that the one we bought in later was Palmer, and he's the better one out of the two, in my opinion. But what was the thinking there, man? Spending big on Madueke, spending big on Palmer. Only one of them can play in that right wing position. Who's it going to be? Both left-footed, both like to cut inside. I get that you could go, oh, well, Palmer can play in the 10. So maybe, maybe I'd do that. Maybe on another day, if I hadn't already done the graphic, I'll put Palmer in the 10 and Madueke up there. I don't know. I really don't know. But yeah, Palmer, Jackson, Sterling. One thing I do know is regardless of whether I think Raheem Sterling's a man for the future and whether he's a player that I think can be important to us next season, he does seem to turn it on a bit against the smaller teams somewhat. So I would imagine that against Leeds, he might be hungry for a goal and he might even get on the goal sheet, to be honest. I would back Sterling there. But listen, thoughts on Sterling are probably not the most positive at the moment, man. There was a point early on in the season when I was looking at him as one of our most influential players. And now, I just ain't seeing it nowhere near as much. I mean, people say I'm ungrateful after the goal against Man City, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. Listen, Leeds United, do they offer a threat? Yes, of course they offer a threat, because they'll know exactly how important this match is. And, Leeds are in fine form, man. 11 wins from their last 12 games. That's pretty good. And if you're thinking, oh, well, that's the Championship. No, that's not in the Premier League, so it doesn't matter. You're wrong. You are wrong. You have a very short memory also, because look at the first leg against Middlesbrough. So it does sort of matter. Championship teams can beat us. And do you know what, mate? Maybe I'm feeling a bit negative at the moment, but if you stuck Chelsea in the Championship, are you confident we win 11 out of 12 games? God, I don't know. Points deduction, we might find out next season. Oh, no. It's going from bad to worse, isn't it? Do you know what's mad as well? I know we've got a game in hand now. And we only 4 points off Brighton with a game in hand of them. They're in 7th or something, but back into 11th. We're not really going to climb the table all that much. And we'll speak about that because apparently Poch has got a couple of games left to save his job now. But yeah, I think the pressure's very much on in this game. Leeds being on a sort of fine vein of form, I do think that's concerning, because you could say, oh, well, the level of opposition's a little bit lower in the Championship. But, I mean, look at that Liverpool game the other day, right? Can anyone tell me that we played better the other day or better at Anfield than we did on the opening day of the season? And realistically, if you're looking at a manager's progression and how over time things should start to click and things should start to work and a manager should start to understand what his strongest possible starting lineup is, it would normally be the other way. It would normally be on the opening day of the season you play that team, you're not that good, you get battered or something. Then the next time you play them, a little bit better, but maybe don't win. Then you finally get a win over them. We're regressing in that. But what I would say is on the opening day of the season, we were coming in off the back of a pre-season. And you could say, oh, pre-season don't mean anything. But that'll be the same person that says, oh, Championship don't mean anything. So I do think that a winning mentality is good no matter what. Leeds will be rocking up to Stamford Bridge with the fire in their belly. They will be coming smelling blood seeing vulnerability and looking to do a job on Chelsea. So we need to be bang up for this. I mean, we played them twice last season. One of them we won. Did we win it 1-0? I think we did. Fofana, I think it was, that scored the goal. Headed down in the box, and then he on the turn, I believe I was even at that match. But my God, the 3-0 loss at Ellen Road was horrible. Absolutely horrible. And it came after the 2-2 draw against Spurs. And I remember watching that game thinking, we pretty go on and challenge for the league this season. Couldn't have been more wrong there, could I? So it's being reported now, anyway, that Mauricio Pochettino has the next 5 games to save his job. Well, let's look at those 5 games. Leeds being the first. Am I jumping the gun if I say that if we lose to Leeds, I would expect Pochettino to be sacked? Is that me saying I want it? I don't know. I've got to sort of get off the fence here, haven't I? Because I've always said I'm Pochim, but if we lose to Leeds and go out the FA Cup, we've got nothing to play for this season. It's not very good, is it? I would still probably say, even if we go out the FA Cup, I'm not Pochettino out. And I simply say that because if you look at the job at the moment, it's only going to go to what I would sort of class as a yes man, and people might find that derogatory, but you know, yes man style managers, they're the sort of ones. If you look so far since Tuchel was sacked, look at who we brought in. Graham Potter, yes man. Lampard, I love you so much, honestly, but yes man. You know, Mauricio Pochettino, probably the best yes man on the market at the time, but a yes man. So, yeah, man, if we're only going to give it to a yes man, why even sack the one we got? Because he's probably one of the better ones. I don't think the board could have their egos dented by bringing in someone like a Jose Mourinho, like a Conte, someone like that. Hans Flick, maybe. Someone that would probably hold a mirror up against their shortcomings. Or opposite their shortcomings, I should say. I don't know. Listen, let's say we go through against Leeds. Brentford away, Newcastle at home, Arsenal away, Burnley at home. For me, it needs to be 9 points. It needs to be 9 points. Because now you're having to show us something now. Yeah, you don't lose the cup final and have this sort of season where we're not even coming to the running yet and we've got nothing left to play for really. Hopefully the FA Cup, but yeah. I want to see you put a few goals past Leeds, and then I want to see you go to Brentford and beat them. I want to see you welcome Newcastle to the bridge and beat them. I'm not even being that stubborn and spoilt, man. You can go Arsenal away and lose. You probably will. Like, it is what it is. But then Burnley at home, you need to beat them. So, for me, you need to beat Leeds, and then I want 9 points out of those 4 games. It needs to be 9 points. It won't be. I doubt it will be. But it does need to be 9 points for me. Because otherwise, I'm just not seeing enough here. Listen, there's been good performances this season, man. There really has. The opening day against Liverpool was pretty good. You look at the matches against Man City 4-4, Arsenal 2-2. They were good performances. The Spurs 4-1 win, was it a good performance? I don't know. But the Villa one was a good performance recently. The Man City one was a good performance recently. But I'm just not seeing enough at the moment to be confident going into next season. Can I stick by a manager if I'm not confident with him? Yeah, I can. If, like I say, I've got no confidence in the board being able to recruit a different style of manager, then I can stick by him and try and persevere. But ultimately, what I'm saying is, if the season carries on the way it goes, we finish somewhere between 12th and 9th or something like that. We don't really get big wins against the big teams and we can't put any consistency together. During the summer, am I going to be itching for football to come back? Well, yeah, of course I will. I'm a football fan. But am I going to be excited for what Chelsea has to offer? Probably not, man. Probably not. So let's see. Listen, Nkunku's out injured for this one. Gutting. Again, just cannot keep players fit for love nor money. Absolutely ridiculous. We get a few more injuries in this one off the back of everyone playing 120 minutes. So, yeah, listen. Sorry, people. I'm very negative today, but it's just the way I'm feeling, man. I just feel deflated at the moment. But everything can change with a good win. If we go put 3-4 past Leeds at Stamford Bridge tomorrow night, I will be changing my tune and I will be a lot more positive and I will persevere. But at the moment, we're 2, 3, 4 rounds down, if I was to use a boxing analogy, and you need to show me something in this round, otherwise I'm throwing the towel in. And that's where I'm at with this season. So let's see Saint against Leeds. I will be putting out a match review straight away after the game. If you've made it to the end of another video, please, please, please smash the like button. I know we don't feel like spreading much positivity, but it helps me massively if you do. So please smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll read as many as I can. I'll try to get back to a lot of you. I will see you all in the next one.